Hi everyone, Tridib from TGT and welcome to another iOS beta update video. Just a day after the release of iOS 15.3 to the public, Apple released iOS 15.4 beta 1 to the developers, and by the time you are watching this video, public beta may be out as well. This contains more than 10 new features, bug fixes, many new emojis and more. So iOS 15.4 is going to be a pretty exciting update. To check for the update, you need to have the iOS 15 developer or public beta profile installed on your device. Then go to settings, then go to general and then to software update, and you should see your update available here. This update came in around 5.27 gigabytes in this iPhone 12 mini. Every time you switch from a public release to a beta version, it rewrites the entire OS. So it comes in huge sizes. The update is 4.5 to 5 gigabytes across all the other devices. I have this iPhone 7 and this iPhone XR here. Along with that, Apple also released iPadOS 15.4 beta 1, which I am using in this iPad Air 4th generation, watchOS 8.5 beta 1, Apple tvOS 15.4 beta 1, and macOS Monterey 12.3 beta 1. Let's go and check the new build number. The build number for this update is 19E5209H. H at the end means we are still far from a RC version. There is a new modem firmware update, and that's a big one. iOS 15.3 public release had modem firmware version 2.23.02 and this one is 2.51.01. So that's a big update as well. iOS 15.3 solved most of the issues with 5G, 4G and 4G LTE. After updating to this version, I have not faced any new issues either. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and AirDrop also works as usual without any issue after this update. iOS 15.4 beta 1 has some major new features. The first one is using Face ID while wearing a mask. Previously, it was only possible via an Apple Watch, but now it can be done using iPhone only. I'll show you the setup process here. First, go to the settings, then Face ID and passcode. Then you will find this toggle, use Face ID with a mask. It says Face ID is most accurate when it's set up for full face recognition only. To use Face ID while wearing a mask, iPhone can recognize the unique features around the eye area to authenticate. You must be looking at your iPhone to use Face ID while wearing a mask. When you turn on the toggle, you will see these two options. Select Use Face ID with a mask, then Get Started, and you have to focus your face so that it can read your face. But if you wear glasses, you have to take that off first. So let's take the glasses off. Now move your head slowly to complete the circle as indicated. And it says first Face ID scan complete. Then select Done. And now we can see there is an option to add glasses. So select that, then click Continue, then Get Started. And now I will wear my glasses back and I will hit try again. Let's do that again, and I have to focus within that circle and complete the face scanning process again. And it says the first Face ID is now complete. So the setup is now complete. As you can see, now use Face ID with a mask option is enabled. Now let's try unlocking this iPhone while wearing a mask. Now I'm wearing a mask and looking at the iPhone. You have to directly look at your iPhone and it unlocks immediately. It's now unlocking within the iPhone and not using the Apple Watch anymore. So that's a great new feature in this pandemic situation. As you can see here, I'm wearing a mask and that's working without any issue. iOS 15.4 adds a lot of new emojis. These are according to Unicode Standard 14. There are almost 42 new emojis of different expressions, colors, and gestures. Here you can see all the new ones. Some of them are old gestures with different new colors. almost 37 new ones, and rest are different color variants. So iOS 15.4 brings your emoji list up to Unicode standard 14. But remember, if you send these new ones to someone else, the receiver's phone emoji list should also have updated to Unicode standard 14. Otherwise, they will not be able to see those. This update also have additional features for the PS5 DualSense controller. Previously, it was controlled via Bluetooth, but now there is a firmware to use the DualSense adaptive triggers, so that's a great thing for the gamers. Apple has also updated the keychain with an additional new feature. Let's go to settings, then passwords. Here, if you go to any keychain, I have created a demo keychain here. Within that, you can see now there is an option to add notes against a key. So you can add any notes you want and then click done, and it shows within the keychain. Then if you go to settings, then to Apple TV, here at the bottom you can see an option up next display still frame. What it does, it allows TV shows and movies played on this device to influence your For You recommendation and updates your continue watching across all the devices. So basically, it works as a recommendation system for Apple TV. There are updates for SharePlay as well. iOS 15.4 has the SharePlay option inbuilt in certain menus. If you go to Apple Music, then go to any song. Within this menu, now there is an option Share Play. You can share play this song directly from here. Previously, there was only the Share Song option available. Then if you go to Settings, then Safari, then at the bottom, go to Advanced, then Experimental Features. Within that, at the very bottom, you will now see an option to reset all to defaults. Previously, it was not there. So it's a one-click reset to default option for you. If you open AirPods now, the pop-up screen now looks a bit different. The title texts are bolded and the rotating images now looks a bit sharper. So some minor changes here. In the Health app, Apple has added a vaccination record to meet the standard with European Union. It is now available for most European Union countries, but nothing for India yet. iOS 15.4 Beta 1 has almost 13 known issues. If you go to the developer release note, you will see there are known issues on Apple Pay, authentication, iCloud, game controller, Health app, Home app, and many more. Also, there are issues on messages where a conversation transcript wouldn't scroll after viewing a photo in Quick Look. Also, phone, settings, and SharePlay has issues as well. Hope Apple will fix some of those in the next beta. But there is no mention about the bug in Apple Music app causing higher CPU usage, no mention about the storage bug or the pink tint issue in some of the iPhones. So those seems to be solved now. Performance-wise, iOS 15.3 was very good. Performance-wise, iOS 15.4 Beta 1 is okay so far, but there are quite a few bugs that still remains as I mentioned earlier. So those might create issues for you sometimes within the UI. Otherwise, it runs nice and smooth. No touch issue for this device. Battery life of iOS 15.3 was impressive. This version is not yet to that standard. Hope it will improve over time. It provides around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time with medium use. This iPhone 7 also performs as usual after this update. The UI is a little bit slow and buggy sometimes. No storage or touch issue for this device. The battery life is not that good after all these years, around 3 to 4 hours of screen on time with medium to light usage. Also, this iPhone XR is running absolutely fine, but this device misses out on the unlock Face ID with mask option, even though this is a Face ID enabled device. So far, that option only works on iPhone 12 series and higher. Maybe there are differences in Face ID systems between older and newer iPhones. So iPhone 11 and older devices are not getting that option. Or maybe Apple will enable that later for these older devices as well. I'll let you know if it is available later. Also, if you are coming from iOS 15.3 public release, then there is a visible battery life drop across all the devices, including this one. Now let's talk about iPadOS 15.4 Beta 1. I have this one on this iPad Air 4th generation. One of the biggest feature Apple introduced with iPadOS 15.4 and macOS 12.3 is the universal control. The much anticipated feature is finally here. I have the supported iPad but not the supported Mac. It is available for 2018 MacBook Air and onwards, but I have the 2017 one. But here is how the things should look like. When placed side by side, you can literally take the MacBook cursor to your iPad and access files there, and vice versa. Then within General and then Control Center, there is a new option, Keyboard Brightness. So if you use the Apple Magic Keyboard Folio or any third-party keyboard with backlight, then you can now directly control that light from this option. This is a handy new feature. Then if you go to Settings again and then to Notes, within that there is an option to change the corner gesture. As you can see here, you can see the left corner swipe screenshot, right corner swipe option quick notes. So swipe from the left takes a screenshot. Let's delete it. Then right corner swipe for quick notes. Let's close that. Previously it was only available with Apple Pencil. You can change these options from here as well. So some big new features for iPadOS 15.4. If you're interested about the benchmarks, here are the Geekbench 5 scores for this iPhone 12 mini running iOS 15.4 beta 1. It's 1573 for the single core and 4087 for the multi-core. These scores looks good, and here are the scores for all the other devices that I have here: iPad Air 4th generation, iPhone 7 and iPhone XR. So now the question is, should you update? Well, if you're okay with some bugs and glitches here and there, go ahead and update. There are some big new features in this update already. Also, do share any bug or issue you face via the Apple Feedback app. But you should always install betas on your secondary device and never forget to back up before the update. Do share your thoughts, and if you have found something new in this update, do hit the like button, share this video, and please don't forget to subscribe to TGT. I'll see you in my next one. Peace.